In the climactic battle of Stranger Things Season 3, our heroes are left in great distress. While the kids have run out of ammo to defeat the Mind Flayer with, Hopper is stuck fighting a Terminator OC, leaving Joyce to close the portal to the Upside Down by herself. In the end, both Billy and Hopper make the ultimate sacrifice in order to save the ones they care about, and reconcile with the fact we will never see these characters ever again. For about 15 minutes. Yes, one after credits scene later, we discover the Russians are holding an American captive, and we can only guess who that could be. And lo and behold, on Valentine's Day of 2020, we got our answer. Hopper is still alive. So with that, my name is Toonteen, and starting today we'll be discussing the elements of Stranger Things that fans are split on, because these are the controversies of Stranger Things. I'm going to start off by saying that yes, while I am glad that Hopper is back, I do think it's a cheap move. As with any retcon of any character's death in film, it feels as though the writers weren't brave enough to let the character go, and it lowers the stakes because it makes the character feel that much more invincible. The only pro I can see is the fact that the show didn't give us much time to mourn over him, because it was quickly reassured to us that his death wasn't permanent. However, this opens up a whole new can of worms that restricts things. For example, if Hopper comes back as some clone of himself, like the fan theory suggests, it'd be cheap because we've already invested ourselves in the idea that this character is alive, and it'd feel wrong to suddenly go back on that. Same thing goes if they actually do try to kill off Hopper, because unless they plan on doing so 5 more seasons down the line when we've already forgotten about his sacrifice in Season 3, it'd be far too soon. Another reason of why his sacrifice cheapens the show is because we have yet to see a main character from the first season die. I guess I'm not saying one has to, but when you consider that every other character who has died in the show was written to have that death from the start, usually perishing in the same season they were introduced in, it feels like the main cast has some sort of invincibility, and moreover takes away from some of the tension. Again, not saying a character has to die, just saying it'd be more realistic. Of course, the one exception to that rule would be the death of Billy Hargrove, but all he really did in Season 2 was provide some minor conflict for Max and Steve and flirt with Mike's mom, so I'd argue he has more relevance in Season 3 to begin with. Do I think Hopper's resurrection was cheap? Yeah, but I also don't know what other direction they could have gone in. They kind of set themselves up this way. I guess they could have gone with Brenner. It'd be neat to see him interrogated by the Russians and given a taste of his own medicine. Or maybe Billy was replaced with his clone of the Upside Down, since that was never really explained. And the Russians do experiments on him because, you know, he was a possessed boy. But, from what we know at least, Brenner nor Billy were ever introduced to the Russians. So from a logical standpoint, Hopper makes the most sense. So what do you think? Should Hopper's death have stayed in the show, or are you glad that he's returned? Tell me in the comments. Make sure to stay tuned for the next Stranger Things video, because this one is about the episode that everyone enjoyed. See you then.